Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just pet my dog for some good luck. That's how you know we're gonna have a good time. Welcome back to H2R. Sorry, my streaming schedule is like so erratic, but it kind of just depends on what I'm working on at the moment and if it'll require a lot of sort of figuring things out as I go, which I had to do a lot of this week as I learned to texture this whole area with proper environment texture with the grass and the dirt and the stone. But good evening, everyone. Good to see Mindful and Spartan and members, Mr. Lozna and Yup, along with everyone else. Good golly gosh. You are winner. What is that emoji? Is that a YouTube specific thing? Looks like it. Alright. Well, I think I'm basically done with the tributary, which is this whole area here. Honestly, spent all day yesterday decorating it and polishing it up for the day, so I think we're gonna move on to the next area, which is the Junction here. If you were in any one of the last streams on this mission, when we were working on the new areas, the Junction here is what connects the tributary to the valley, you know, with the phantom that you can hide from and everything. So that'll be fun. Just got a fun, spooky sort of exploration, or transitionary space. And for that, I actually wanted to take some influence from the interiors of this mission. And got some really good reference pics of this mission for, you know, the best ways to go about building Forerunner architecture for Delta Halo. Trying to get the volume on this damn thing right. So yeah, I have can take a couple of design cues from this area here. A couple of shaders even. That'll work well for this little part here. What you see right now, this texture is just a placeholder. So yeah, we're gonna add a little bit of more geometry complexity to the halls here, but especially this sort of central chamber in here. And I have a pretty good idea of what it is that I want to achieve with this. For that, I should probably show off what the tributary looks like with some low-level test light maps, because I am very happy with it. Spent all day yesterday, in addition to completing it, painting like grass and rocks all over the terrain. Here we go. So happy I finally got it looking good and not like a melted ice cream nightmare hellscape. I also went in and added all the necessary scenery effects and sounds for the waterfall and rivers. So yeah, this is on low light maps too, so it'll look even better when it's run on the finalized like super light maps. I'm gosh dang heckin' proud of myself, to be honest. First time I ever made an environment texture here with the help of Spartan277. She helped me figure it out, and I got to make something that looks pretty good. Don't mind all these weird splotches, that's just the low level light maps. That's like the limited lighting resolution and the amount of photons that can bounce around. I've been having a lot of fun with instance geometry. It doesn't take up any object memory and looks way better than scenery does when light mapped. These lights on top of the Junction entrance are actually the last thing I added last night, and I really, really like them, especially the one that's peeking out behind the overgrowth. I wanted to add the lights up there so you can have like a very clear direction on where you should be heading, which helps for over here especially because it's out of the sunlight, so this area over here needed something a little bit more extra. But yeah, it'll be really fun to see what this will look like on super light maps, because all the dark areas will have a lot more light that is able to bounce around on them, so they'll appear brighter. So I'll have to do some balancing with the light sources and the like light reflection of all the various materials to find that sort of right balance. So this is what the Junction looks like. I want it to be really, really dark. I made this door, by the way, repurposed some textures from Quarantine Zone. So I want it to remain really, really dark, but I also want some sort of low set light sources as well. And we're gonna add some cool geometry detail to this place as well. Gonna raise the ceiling up maybe a little bit, depending on what I feel it needs. Oh yeah, the headlights that you're gonna have on your vehicles as well is gonna be a huge thing with this too. We should probably place a Warthog and Gun Goose in front of here, so I can get a feel for that. As you can see with the little light rays that are bouncing around in here, this is actually gonna reflect a lot more light when this is lit on super. So I'm thinking I want to add some low, sort of yellowish light sources down here and maybe a couple more, like thin ones up here. I still want this area to be like really dark. And I want you to be like, when you first come in here, you're like, whoa, what direction do I go? But it'll all turn out. It'll all work out in the end. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to add some more geometry complexity to the sort of hallway here. And there's not too much I want to do in that regard. Let me get Quarantine Zone back open so I can get a better idea of how that all looks. Yeah, it'll be the entire level tides. For this level, it'll be all of the BSPs will have their light maps redone. Okay, so I kind of want to just like pick out. I want to get the shape of the room right before anything else. Pick out like a good inspiration for the sort of light source that I'm thinking of, and then working on it from there. So thinking either something like this, or this, or this, or in the most comparable area in here would be like this sort of thing. I think I will go with this. I have a pretty good idea of how I want it to be shaped, but we will see. So nothing too crazy in here since it's just a transition space. Just add some subdivisions along here. Okay, now just sort of choose where these lights should go and how many. Let's see, probably 1, 2, 3 sounds about right. Although there's an odd number of surfaces here, so that kind of bothers me. Not a problem though. And how wide do I want them to be too? I don't really have a timeline on the rest of the mod dais. I'm just going through the missions in chronological order in terms of scenario design. Hey, go about scaling areas in level geometry so it feels just right for gameplay. The Halo Blender tools have these little scale models that you can import that help a lot with feeling out the scale of things. There's a whole bunch of different models that you can place in that'll help with that sort of thing. Spartan placed a bunch of warthogs all over the place to get a feel for that. It's like NASCAR in here. Okay, I'm wondering if I should subdivide again. So I do maybe want them to be a little smaller. Let's see. It'd be better to maybe just like... Let's see. Yeah, that'd probably be a better idea. Okay. Let me just choose every other one here and see what I can do here. Alright, and we'll scale those down. Those a little bit like that. Okay. Doing these kind of like repeated sort of... I'm kind of learning how to do these repeated sort of texture or like geometry details in a smart way. That's the thing though, Foreigner architecture doesn't typically have... Most of the lighting in Foreigner architecture, Twilight, comes from like sources other than the ceiling. Like you'll see the lighting in this room is very, very sparse from the ceiling. Foreigners tend to like very heavily lean toward like a floor set lighting or stuff like this, which is lighting that is reflecting off of a surface, like there or like here. So their light sources are always a little bit more interesting than something like on the ceiling here, which is more human-like and rarer to see in Foreigner architecture. So that's what I'm trying to channel here. Ain't got no ceiling fans in Foreigner spaces. All right, now we're gonna extrude all these out, just a bit like that. Okay. Gotta bring those up like that. I wanna get those out a little farther. Okay, now I need to rotate these so they're at 90 degrees again. Let's see, need to grab all of their edges up here. I bet there's a way to sort of like instance parts of a mesh to do stuff like this more efficiently, but I don't know that method if it exists. Yeah, like, I'm excited for people to explore them. Probably gonna move these out even further, to be honest. I need to give myself a lot of room here. Move those bad boys out. Yeah, Delta Halo's looking a lot more paper mache than I remember. Yeah, we added some new areas in some of the earlier levels. This as close to a 90 degrees as I can because I don't know how to get that on like a global 90 degree thing. Did I accidentally... That's not what I meant to do. Hold on. Need you to... Need you to move... Need you to move in the same direction. I had that happening before. How did I get that working? Hello. I can just move them numerically. This is what I'm talking about. Let's see, this isn't beveled at all at the edges here. Is this dynamic lighting from sources? No, this will not be dynamic lighting. But you do have dynamic lighting from your headlights, which will be from your vehicles you'll be having. You think the foreigners thought about adding Easter eggs when creating Halo? That was the flood. One architect in the foreigners would be like, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if?" And then the rest of this history. I'm not sure if I want to do something like this, like lift this up like that, or if I want to bevel this. Or combination. Probably think I want to, if I'm going to bevel that, I should probably grab all of these and all these and move them down a bit. This one didn't get moved. I don't have to do this for every one, only the ones that are actually accessible. Okay, let's... This will actually change the angle of this part out here. Hold on, I need to slide these along this line here, if I can do that. Actually, hold on. Might wanna... This actually makes me think. I wanna... Yeah, I think I might wanna do something like this. Just bring them in a little bit. Like trapezoids. There we go. Then I would like to... I don't think there's an easy way for me to bring this down. So I think I'll just leave that alone. Grab those and bring those down. This tunnel is partially at an angle, so it's kind of tricky. It's at an angle because, like, the terrain it connects to is very angular as well. and then it evens out by the time it reaches the central chamber. Oh yeah, I saw that, N7. Pretty exciting. Okay. Is there a good way to bevel without fucking up the corners like this? Hey, yep.
You're the best man.
Thank you for the $10. And thank you for donating through Streamlabs. Makes you a very cool person. Now we gotta wait for it to play twice. How do I correct this stupid... the stupid, like, extra edge that it added without, messing up the elevation, or, angles of this stuff?
You're the best man.
Thank you! It's even better hearing it the second time. I need this. How should I do? How should this be handled? These kind of angles are always like kind of tricky for me. Things always get dicey when we're working with angles. Hey, 9-8. You're having fun modding Reach Rebalanced? Nice. Would you please release the tags for it? It's just such a pain to mod multiple levels with assembly. Buddy, do I have some bad news for you? That's exactly how Reach Rebalance was made. They were very dark times back then. I need to find a way to bevel this while preserving the edge point there. I don't want these parts over here. Yeah, they downgraded MCC to play it, I think. None of these options are helping me. That'll just mess up the angle, wouldn't it? Maybe? I can't tell. You know what? Actually, subdividing this and then messing with that angle would probably be the best way to go about this. Something like this. Yeah. Something like that. Need to make it larger to correct the angle up there, but that's pretty much what I want. Okay. Make sure this isn't at an angle either. Okay, let me do that while selecting all of them. I select all these, like, if I do these all like in one go, is that gonna subdivide it in a bizarre way? Maybe. Selecting the thing between them, so let's just subdivide them one by one. Things will get a lot easier when we get into the central chamber because everything's not at a slightly askewed angle. But yeah, the days of modding when we had to replicate every single little change to every tag across every mission are long behind us. I don't want to go back to those days. It was the most painful on Halo 2, which had 13 missions and 2 cutscene levels, or like story levels, that I had to do everything for. At least for all the changes, which reflected across multiple missions, who had tags in multiple missions. Yeah, easily 9-8, but if you had the mod tools, you could do way better than OG Reach Rebalanced, which I plan to. Need to get these moved in the opposite directions of each other. Dang it, I can only select one side at a time. now let's drag these down. That did not. Apparently forgot to grab this part. Why is it always one that's missing? Figuring out Blender's modeling this stuff like this in Blender and the best way to go about any individual thing has really been like a puzzle the whole time. Okay, how far down do I want you to be? That feels about right. I don't want them to be like really wide or tall. The changes might bring to Gravemind. I don't know about new locations. Gravemind is really long as it is. It has plenty to work with. Just some kind of repetitive geometry. It ends some points, but it's probably not the biggest issues with when it comes to Gravemind. Okay, need to widen these out a bit so this edge here is almost parallel. As close to parallel as I care to get it. Add some kind of flourish right before the doorway itself. Nothing too fancy, just some like foreigner extrusions. None of the lights in here are actually going to be on, by the way. I just want there just still needs to be some suggestion of a light source that worked at one point, but I do want this hallway here to be pretty much pitch black. The only light coming from the light pouring in from outside. Until you reach in here, anyway. Yeah, I do need to grab these because they are slightly askew. Ship those over very slightly. Okay, that's pretty much all I want from that. Okay, now let's go all the way back here. And want to add a little bit of a extrusion here in the shape of something like over here. Like this. No light source coming out from it, just a little bit of more complexity as we get in here. Oh, the mirror modifier? That probably wouldn't work because the area is at a very slight angle coming out of the tributary. Yeah, go to the C20 Reclaimers Library website, 9.8. It has everything you'd ever want to know about the Halo modding process. And watch Vengeful Vadam's modding tutorial. He'll that's a really good starting point. Need to this over here. That's perfectly even. Good. Let's see. You played CER? That's good to hear. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Just start by extruding these out. This level's a really good reference for what I had in mind here. So you should probably leave that at a sharper angle. Let's actually make this a little bit more steep. What if I scaled it outward? No. Fuck, do what you were doing before. Trying to get them to move along the same axis like they were before. There we go. Okay, let's add a subdivision here. And then extrude this up. Okay, there we go. That's very foreignery. Actually beveled this part here, but I don't necessarily intend for this to be a sort of light source. Need to make sure that extrudes in the up in the right direction though. Slightly askew. Could also do something like that. Too steep of an angle though. What would this look like if I beveled it? It needs to be at a different angle than this, but then that makes it look too smooth. That's gonna have an odd effect on the sort of angle of that. Let me actually bring these parts in more. Okay, that'll work. I don't know what kind of texture I'm gonna want on this, but just it doesn't have to be anything too complex. Alright. Now I need to sort of... Well, actually, I'm gonna wait to replicate that sort of change in this little part here, or at least a couple of those here, because I might want to iron that out a little more later. So we'll just leave that be for now and move on to the central chamber, which is going to be much simpler to work on because everything here is perfectly symmetrical. You're mapping your whole life. It's so lovely to see you doing level geo. Yeah, it's really fun. One of the new walls looks to be textured nicely. Well, I mean, it's just a placeholder for the moment. I'm gonna re-UV this whole area. Okay, I have a very good idea of what I want from here, so let's see about this. Let's see, can I get a good loop cut, or are you gonna deny me that? You're gonna deny me that. No fun allowed, okay. You know what? Actually, let me get a scale model for the chief in here. So I can get a little bit of a better idea of how I want to scale things. Where's my chief? It's about to get a whole lot chiefier in here. Okay, I think I will want to move this or scale this up a little bit more. Just deciding on what the sort of shape is that I want for the top part here. I don't think I'm gonna have a light source coming up down from all the way from the top. In fact, it's kind of better if it stays really, really dark all the way up there. Can I get a marine in here as well? Yeah, let's get an ODST in here. Little ODST action figure. There he is. They do be A-posing. Round elevator rooms might offer some inspiration. Maybe not the shape of the room itself, but one of the lights in there that I'm maybe thinking of could be good, or to some capacity in this room. Hey, Imaginort, thank you for the 5 super chat. That nearly said I was done with the whole mod. Nearly done with this map, yeah, with this level. That's for sure. Can't imagine Regret's gonna take me anywhere near as long as this level, but then again, we have the Regret boss fight, so who knows what we're gonna come up with for that. Alright. I guess let me start with the total height of the room first. So we got this like entire mountain space in the BSP to work with here. So this can go as high as we want, basically. Gotta have that like imposing sense of scale in foreigner places. So I'm not sure if I want to do something like, let's see, I'm not sure if I want to do something like let's see, I can't add a loop cut. So I can either like upsize this like this and have it go even higher, or go even bigger the higher we go. Like that. God, Foreigner architecture is so fun. Because you can just make everything so big and it's so easy and so angular. So you can either do something like that. Hey, thank you, Imaginar, for the $2 again. Getting it done by the anniversary. We got dreams. So I can do it something like that, and I actually kind of like the shape of that, but it doesn't convey like the sense of scale that well. But then again, I do kind of just want it to fade off into shadow as it gets higher and higher up. So that might not even be a big deal at all. So we could either do that, or we could do the opposite. If we were going to like exaggerate the distance, as it were, could instead downscale it like this, so it comes inward instead, like that. That is very reminiscent of CE's control room, like you said, Beta Venus. Yeah. I think for the purposes of this room, where it's gonna get darker and darker the higher we go up, it's probably a lot more useful and more imposing if I go the other direction. And I kind of have a little bit of a cool idea I want to do with the upper parts here, as far as just like decorative sort of atmospheric distant detail goes. So let's upscale it. Actually, probably move this whole part down a little bit. Maybe. Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then probably move the ceiling up even more. There's no room for restraint here. Gotta make sure I'm not actually going out, clipping outside of the mountain, though. Nope, we all good. We all good. Oh yeah, this is what I love. This is what I love to see. CE's environments must have been so, like, fun to model with stuff, doing stuff like this. Without the Halo of Blind Wolves, it doesn't really have room or any good places to put them. Halo 2 already does have quite a bit of wildlife, though. Releasing the tags for the OG rebalances is literally not possible because they were all made using assembly. The tools that you're trying to use right now. New underwater fauna for Regret? Not yet. Not as of current. That'll probably be up to Spartan 277 if she wants to tackle something like that, since she's already done some stuff for the underwater part of Regret, for as far as lighting goes. God, I love this kind of architecture for Forerunners. It's so simple, but it's also really satisfying. I could just, this is the what you're seeing right now is literally the process that the Bungie designer who modeled the control room went through. Like this like exact thing that you're seeing me doing right now. You're like, what if I extruded these parts out like that? Oh, I love that. And bam, that's how the library was born. Man, I actually do really love that. But I'll show some restraint. She'll do something a little bit more original. Stick with my original idea. Okay, before we get carried away with doing stuff up there, I was going to add some little pillars up top here. And also, I noticed that Halo 2's Foreigner architecture has a lot of sort of this, what do you call this? Like support beams, skeletal structures going on. So I do want to see if I can incorporate some of that in here as well. These sort of support rafters all over the place. This won't subdivide correctly, will it? No. Trying to think in my head how I want this to look. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna grab all of these. There should be something that I'm thinking of that would, like, pretty much inspired me from here. I just can't think of it exactly what. I think it might have been something, one of the structures outside that I'm being inspired by here. Let's see. It might be on a multiplayer map now that I'm thinking of it, like Waterworks or something. It's kind of similar to this. is what I'm thinking of. This segment right here that sort of overhangs on top of another sort of angular pillar, like a pillar that's bisected in the middle. Oh yeah, Warlock does have some good metal structures, doesn't it? That map is like a good blend of Delta Halo and Delta Cliffs, or Great Journey. For the sake of being thorough, might as well take a peek into that. See if there's any more inspiration we can get from that. What is the what's the dev name of that map? I don't know what the name of that map is. It's Convict. I don't know if it's that. Cyclotron? I don't know. I don't remember what Cyclotron is. Wasn't this one? What are with these open edges, Bungie? Like, I guess it literally doesn't matter because the map doesn't even have any AI to pathfind on it. Holy shit! Why is this missing its shader? Colossus? No, but I did use this map as reference for the new areas on Oracle. I am not up to date on my Halo 2 multiplayer maps. Cyclotron is Ivory Tower. Let's see. Warlock. There we go. It was just in the Halo subdirectory. Wonderful. Okay. Hell, these are shaders that you don't even see in the campaign. Wait, this isn't even on a Halo ring, is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the Halo ring. I hear a waterfall sound. Oh, there it is. I wish I knew about this brick shader earlier. I would have used it when I was modeling some of the earlier ruin areas. But yeah, here's that, here's the, metal outlying structure. Oh yeah, the person who made this is like definitely not the same person who made the Delta Halo maps. You can just tell like the design philosophy is really, really different. But I like it. Got a lot of the same objects though. Even got a tweaked version of the Anchor tree. I don't see anything I could use in the current area, though. Could use, like, this instance light here, but would prefer to do something closer to sort of quarantine zone. Yeah, this area I'm currently working on is like 100% of the newer Foreigner architecture, so this sort of retrofitted stuff here wouldn't make as much sense. Still fun to look at, though. Oy! I might add quad wings in the tributary. The structure I'm working on part of Halo's superstructure, Moore's Temple ruins. Do Halo structures have to be part of the superstructure if they're not the ruins? This is the same type of structure that you see in throughout the rest of Delta Halo and Regret. That's what I'm going for, the same type of abandoned rustic structure that are still newer than the ruins. So it's still very made at the same era, the era that this Halo ring itself was made. I got a really good idea of what I want the shape of these protrusions to be. Oh, should I say? I should probably have extruded this first. Yeah. Alright, get those bad boys out there. Let's see here. Give ourselves some good clearance here. Then let's see. That is not how I want you to scale. can I scale this in a way that won't totally distort it? Come on, scale correctly, damn you. And I can get it to sort of scale how I want, like, just by doing this. This area is meant to be a junction that connects several different other areas. That's why we have this sort of connecting room with several doors on every side. I'm gonna have to grab every edge to do the thing that I want. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could match this angle here. I didn't... I'm not discluding those creatures for the sake of the sandbox. There's just really hard... It's really hard to find places in Halo 2 that they would fit. Match the angle of the lower bit there. That might actually work better. I do not know what orthographic view is at the moment. For the moment. Well, not everything needs to be in every game. That's the reason why I didn't replace the assault rifle with the SMG. Or the other way around, the SMG with the assault rifle. Why is this edge here selected? Oh yeah, straight on XYZ view. I get it. Replace one of the gondola waves with blind wolves. The blind wolves have evolved into the Loch Ness monster of Halo, basically. They're able to traverse water. They still look the same with those big chompers and no eyes. They just otherwise look like a Lapras. There we go. That's more of the shape I was thinking of, except for these parts over here that aren't sliding along the edge correctly. Oh, come on. I need all of you to slide in the right direction. How did I get the other direction to all go in the right way, but I can't get all of these guys to go in the right way? Can do all of them but two. Oh, stop it. Oh my god, you fucking suck. Jesus Christ, what angle do I have to be at for these things to get the message? Any hidden teleporters? If there were, I wouldn't tell you about them. Jesus Christ. Probably have to go negative. Yeah, okay. Okay, now do I want to add a bit of a bevel to this bevel-like shape? Yeah, I'll have some fun with the flood pure forms, no doubt. Seems to me like they're probably the enemies that got the least amount of attention in dev. Yeah, I probably do want to do something like that. Let me grab the bottom parts of these. birds eating a dead thorn beast. That would be pretty hardcore. That kind of follows the same sort of design language as I did with this. These parts over here, if I do something like that. I probably just prefer to keep these straight on. Okay, now let's take all these under faces here. Okay, and then let's get some inset faces there. Do you think Halo 3 would need new areas? Halo 3 would be like the least game in need of something like that, other than maybe Cortana when it comes to like cool cut ideas. Halo 3 would have to have some like really insane awesome cut idea, like the scarab, flood infected scarab on Gravemind to justify that kind of labor. So it's likely for that mission at least. I can say that. Get a good inset face there. Now extrude that up. Okay, and then I'll have play with something sort of cool, sort of, I don't know, pattern or light figure there. And then we could do something cool, like bring this back like this. Back or forward. I could probably turn this into something cool like the Forerunners usually do, and have it be a light source that's reflecting off the wall instead of right directly into the room. That could be interesting, Beta Venus. I have never once in my life thought about modding El Dorito. I've never played El Dorito. Engineers are not yet in the cards. I would like for them to be, though. Just haven't been any sort of priority. Oh yeah, this could be kind of neat. So it could be the light strip on the inside here, and then it would reflect off the wall. And then maybe have another like strip along the outside. Like these pillars right here is what I'm thinking, near the top. Need to redo these edges over here. See you later, Lego. More book Easter eggs in H2R? How much stuff is there like that you can actually do in Halo 2? Need to get these vertices aligned so I can actually transform it in the way that I want. Jesus. Let that triangulate. Not well. Not very well. Probably want to have it something like that. I need to do some more shenanigans. Yeah, that's what I want. That's it. This would be easier using like a 6-way mirror mode or modifier, but we're already past that point. Okay. Wondering if I could rotate this in any way. Make it a little more interesting. Maybe. We got an interesting as fuck in here with this Forerunner architecture. Flood quad wings. Whee! Why is like it doesn't Halo Wars have flying flood forms? Why have we never had that sort of thing? That just seems like it makes sense. Like Halo 3 to have a flying flood pure form. Hell, it'd probably make more sense for the base pure flood form to have be able to glide like a squirrel. It would at least give it something to make it a little more like unique. Make it like a mobility form. Parkour form. Okay. Now let's add that little light band around these that I wanted to. I can look at this, no problem. Okay. Now we'll extrude these inward. Another area? More likely than you think. How much do I want to extrude this up? Pretty much want it to look like this. I'm probably going to use this exact shader. Okay, that's gonna create some stupid overlapping edges here, though. And a face there for some reason. Why is there a face there? Okay, that solves that problem. Just size that inward. Nope, still got some dumb overlapping faces. There we go. Just merge those verts. Oh, nope, still got this stupid shit. Why is it wider on... Is it slightly askew? It's not how we do things. Just need to make sure these are all extruding in an equivalent way. There we go. But try to size it down like that, it does it in a weird way. Maybe if I choose median point instead. Yeah, but that does that. This is another weird thing entirely. This is gonna still end up yelling at me about open edges in some form or another, but you know what? You know what, Halo 2? That's fine. You can yell at me as much as you want. Actually, it might just be easier to move it inward like that. Less work. Yep, making new areas in the levels. Now just sew all this up. What are those stray vertices? You've been an artist block? The Delta Halo 2, Electric Boogaloo. Okay, that's probably going to be an open edge somewhere, but I'll deal with that when the time comes. Oh good, oh goody, I have to sew up these parts too. Nice. Lovely! Whew, okay. Ba-bam! There we go. What else? What else did I want to do toward the top here? I had some idea. Said something earlier about what I wanted to do on top of these, but I don't remember what I said. I did want to do some sort of like the support beam structures on these in some form. Any support beam I do will probably just be instance geometry, maybe. At least if it's between all 6 of these. So I don't feel like doing that kind of complex geometry 6 times. Oh yeah, I was gonna bevel this part to here. This is a funky way to bevel this. It's probably... Wait, this is probably not... I probably don't even want to bevel this. I probably just want to move it up. Yeah. Or maybe... Wait, how did the reference do it? Okay, pretty much what I'm thinking of. Ooh, I like that. Sort of trying to still figure out what the shape I want of this to be. That's awesome, Asta. Glad to hear that. Okay, I still don't remember what I wanted to do up here. I think I wanted to bevel it. In some form. pinky hurts from holding control so much. Or holding shift. What makes this part spooky? Because it's dark and atmospheric. Very few light sources. Planning. The fuck you mean couldn't connect vertices? You literally just did it. See, and then you knife it on in a really dumb way here. Blender. Oh my god. Fucking wasting my time. Being stupid. So you did fine just there. Something must be wrong with that one pillar then. I don't care to find out yet. Not until the game screams at me about open edges. Okay. That's about how I wanted that. Oh my god, not going in the right direction again. All but two of them. Okay. This is like the main shape that I wanted to get out of this. Okay, and then I think I want to add another light band sort of on top of here. Somewhere along this rim. Is this an elevator? Nope. Let's add another loop cut. About down here. And here. And here. Alright, we're gonna extrude that up. Not like that, we aren't. Hey, can you stop being a dumb fuck and actually do this properly? Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, why is it not working now? It was working all this time before. Ugh. Extrude and scale inward. There we go. Thank you. People like you are my saviors on these streams. There's going to be a light band in that. There's a little bit more light source going up before tapering off into darkness. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to add a bit of a space up here that you can barely see and kind of gets the imagination rolling. Why are you dipping slightly downward, though? Doesn't really matter. What the fuck are you even doing? What? Hold on, might need to turn merging off. Okay, there we go. It was extruding in long normals. It wasn't working for some reason. Okay, and then loop cut along here. Just a sort of inaccessible upper level that gets the imagination running. Can you fucking not with these stupid angles, please? Hold on. Need my Master Chief helper up here. Alt-clicking the edge in face mode. I've been doing the control clicking thing. That doesn't seem to give me consistent results. That does. Oh, did you mean edit mode? I don't know how to select the a face in edge mode, or an edge in face mode. Okay. Then we got the foundational shape for this entire chamber in. I'm still tempted to do the same thing that the library does. Just like select all of these and extrude them out to get this wonderful little shape here. It's nice, isn't it? Just like the control room. I'll hold off on that impulse though. It's a little longer. That is pretty nice. Right. Before I forget, actually, I want to UV the floor here in a circular, to have a circular motion to it. So let me sort of crosshatch this so I can make that happen later. We're gonna make a transmutation circle. A magic circle, everybody. It's the umbrella logo. They were behind it all along. Okay, that'll make for a fun UV when we get into here. Should probably do the same this part out here then. Honestly, just project the UVs from straight up in the room. It'd be really easy. My wrist hurts. What is this? Well, you walked in the wrong neighborhood. Well, this is map making with Blender. And then I had the idea that I wanted to do something I wanted to do something with the floor here to where I could extrude downward and show some kind of like abyss below. So you get this like really long stretch both above and below. I'm just wondering how you would make that work where it's walkable. I could have a glass sort of floor. I don't think that would make sense for this kind of like junction type of deal. Maybe grading. We do have like plenty of sort of foreigner grading type things. You know what we could do is I could have that sort of grading idea, and then that would then allow me to add like a cool water dripping scenery coming from down here. And so that's sort of like how to keep this this place from getting flooded. It has that sort of drainage going on. So you could either put that like the very center, or like have these strips here be that sort of like some sort of grading. You can see really, really far below. I'm thinking probably the very middle of the room, to be honest. Because that is the kind of shape of the room that dips into the middle. Thank you for the alt tip. Need to find a way to make this properly circular, though. Doing the fly-through cam in Blender? Yeah, that's just basically the fly mode. I don't remember what hotkey it was originally. I just have it bound to W because it feels the most natural. Probably have like one sector out here that's like a sort of band for it, and then the grading within that. Right about there. Okay, and then we can get really fun with the sort of scale here and just like extend it super far down until you can't even see anymore. I actually kind of like that shape now that I'm looking at it. See what I can do nonetheless. Loop tools selected. You have loop tools enabled. Loop tools. First time hearing of that. Oh, that's interesting. We're making cookie cutters. There we go. You love to see it. You love to see the perfect circle, almost. Right click loop tools. Loop tools. You got mesh tools, edge tools. It's gonna be the plan. This is just a spooky transitory space. Oh, as an edge loop. I see what you mean. Got loop cut. Edge tools. Only thing I see is loop cut. Oh yeah, add-on. I don't have it installed. Okay, anyway, that works. It's gonna be really cool. Okay, and then I guess I'll just extrude this downward, and then I'll make a new face for this whenever. Should probably make it a little smaller. Oh, you know what? If the light maps support this, having a another light band around this part that shines up through the grading might look kind of cool. Let's do something a little bit different than a light band though, than another light band. See you later, Dark. Actually, no, I'm thinking of it. Let me add another cut there. I just love these sort of like Forerunner runoff scale sort of things. It's kind of like a toilet. This is the new version of the Halo toilet custom game. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll add lights. Should I put them above or below? Yeah, it's gonna be a plane of some kind, a transparent plane of some kind. I don't think it's gonna be glass because I want it to sort of function as a sort of drainage runoff. You know, if this area were to get like flooded, yeah, the water would have somewhere to go. You know what? I kind of want to add lights like on both ends. So like, let's see here. Make some inset faces here. Oh, not like that. There we go. Okay, and then they're going to be facing upward and downward, respectively. So we get light going in sort of both directions, up and down. Forerunner stuff is so fun, I swear. I love it. Probably make sense if I... Hold on, wait. Let's back up. Let's bring these down just a bit. then I need to add a bit of a rim here. There we go. Okay, now we can move these back. After I do this, I know how it's supposed to look in my head. Oh, don't you do this to me again. Oh, I have median point selected. Okay. Take these and connect these vertices. So we have the light parts angled upward. So I can create these fun shadows coming through the grate. If the light mapper plays nice with that, which I think it will. Although even if it doesn't, I can find other ways to sort of have that effect. You know what, I could probably make this circle a little bit more Forerunner-y by extruding out some of these faces. A little bit kind of like the, library, like pit in the middle. Let's see. Yeah, something like that would be really good, actually. It's better than just a circle. Oh yeah, we're adding new sections to the levels all together. We're off to the races. Oh my god, can you stop? Oh my god, why are you doing this to me? Why does it not auto-merge sometimes? I guess because of the threshold. Like, it's not consistent. There we go. Okay, now I want to move these outward. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. This at a 90-degree angle, or close to it. Yeah, that creates some fun shapes. Probably have to grab some of these edges if I do that. Let's see. Oh. Just sort of experimenting here. I guess that moving out like that. Although that's kind of cool in its own way, actually. Although it wouldn't function at all as like a good drainage, because then the entire like outer room would just be constantly filled with water. Let's see, what am I thinking of here? Hey there, Iron. Oh, that actually would function better as a like a water runoff, wouldn't it? I like that shape. I just don't like these really sharp angles here. Need to get that like evened out. Yeah, this would need to be like a one sharp surface. We need to like even out the angle here, but I'm not sure how to do that with these types of sort of angles. Well, I mean, I guess I could just do that. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Whereabouts in the level is this? Oh, this is right after the tributary. Kind of, yeah, Toa, but also sort of slots for the lights to more room for the lights down here to sort of shine upward. Okay, what did I do to get to this point? I'll clean up the vertices after I do this. Elevation of this surface is not consistent for some reason. Okay, that'll look pretty neat with the grading going on top of it. Not sure what grading shader I'm going to use yet, but there's plenty to choose from with the Forerunner stuff. Any more narrated trailers? As in the cinematic trailer, probably be another trailer before release. Okay. That was a fun idea. Now for the lights below. I don't need too much into them. Just need to angle them downward a little bit. And then I'm gonna create some really fun sort of lights streaming down this sort of shaft here. Yeah. That'll be cool to see when it's light mapped. Okay, so we got light sources here, 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 in here, and up here. And then I also wanted to add some floor lights right here on these. Sort of the main source of light in the room. The little of which there is. I might not even have some of these light sources active, just like present. Yeah. Oh, yeah, those videos. Yeah, I'm gonna do another one after this mission, and after every mission moving forward. Yeah, basically what Iron Fudge said. It's a big, I don't know, piece of love toward the game, as if it had 3 more years of development, or even 1. As far as a fan can do that sort of thing. So I know exactly how I want this light to be shaped. Very similar to stuff seen on the library. Making symmetrical stuff like this is fun. It's kind of tedious, but it looks really good in the end. It's tedious when you don't like build everything with the mirror tools like in mind from start to finish. Hello, can you snap to this properly, idiot? Thank you. Earlier in the stream, Meows, we showed off the previous area, which is fully textured and light mapped. It was pretty early on in the stream, if you want to take a look at that. Oh yeah, MCC nowadays is just like the best thing for Halo. So good to have all these games preserved in really pretty good form, all things considered. That's a very, very important part of game preservation that MCC is. How to make it a sexy trapezoid. As we commonly see in the shape of foreigner lights. And we're gonna extrude that bitch. Hell yeah, now it's starting to resemble that foreigner architecture. Still want to have some kind of more complex texture on these pillars in some form, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want it to be on top of here or on the sides. I think I'll have to look through this stuff some more for stuff like that. Actually, this mission does have good like textures like these that I could potentially use to add a little bit more detail on these sort of blocks. Thank you, Howard. quite generous. I'm hoping these will create some really cool light patterns where they sort of stream out in a straight line and then fan out from there. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I was picturing. Ooh. This is the most Forerunner-y Forerunner interior you did ever see. I am kind of tempted to just leave this as a whole, though. Just watch players drive right into it immediately after coming through the door. Yep, we will be. Meows. I don't think I'm going to use them here because this is going to be a very dark area. But all the vehicle headlights are now fully dynamic, so that's fun. As in, they cast shadows where they did not before. Like the not stencil shadows, but you know, dynamic shadows. Okay, still deliberating on what I want to do up here. Kinda am tempted to just do this, to be honest. Good old-fashioned control room style. Should we go alternating compared to down here, though, or should we go parallel to these? I mean, it's gonna get really dark as we go further up here anyway. So, it's probably not gonna be able to see it very well, but still. You could also go in the opposite direction like this. So it's like a kind of like library like that. Although I feel like that might be getting a little too big. I do want this to be like claustrophobic in like a horizontal sense, but like really spacious in a vertical sense is sort of what I'm going for. So I feel like to that end, these could actually help with that intention. Kind of makes you feel like you're in a meat grinder. Oh, that is quite nice. Having it sort of angled up like that actually makes the scale look even bigger, like vertically. Like it feels like it makes it feel more like a vortex going upward. I like that. I can change my mind on this later if I want to. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then it should like be faded almost to like complete pitch black around here with but I'll have to tweak the emission of all these different light sources to achieve that effect. So it'll probably just come down to the light band that I'm gonna put right here. It'll come down to how bright I want to make that. Oh, I'm really satisfied with this though. A little bit can go a long way when it comes to foreigner spaces. Well, but before we end tonight, we should probably import this and see how it looks. See what kind of errors we got, if any. Oh yeah, actually, hold on. I actually did want to do one more thing here. So I wanted to add a little overhang right up here. Who knows, maybe I can do something cool with this sort of upper inaccessible area later. Either way, it acts as a really nice sort of atmospheric distance geometry sort of deal. I like that kind of thing in games a lot. Makes players make videos about it, theorizing what could be out there in the distance. There we go, that's what I was thinking of. That is so forerunnery, it hurts. Oh yeah, I have to think of what kind of like, oh, you know what? I just thought of, what if I had sort of cross you remember earlier I was saying about, like the sort of, all the brutalist support beams that, the architecture on this ring has? What if I had some sort of like, kind of, like almost, like kind of haphazard, sort of cross-hatching of some support beams here and there as like we go up. So like nothing that covers up too much, but just like kind of like a little bit of haphazard haphazardness added to this, like cross-hatching beams here and there. That could be a fun idea. I'd probably make that instance geometry because that would be a pain in the ass to work out and ruin like the symmetry of this place. There's some like beams, like 3 sort of angular beams that crisscross as they go up. And like not in like an asymmetrical but still like structurally sensible way. They'd probably still be pretty thin because I would still want a line of sight on the verticality of here. Oh, hey, Shotgun. Good to see ya. Just finish your own stream up? We're just about to import it into game to see how it looks. Oh, you know what I should do actually? Is I should add a light source up, like a relatively bright light source that sort of just like lines the inside of here. And then the light sort of bounces off of here, so you get some sort of light source at the very top in this little weird area up here. I'm thinking maybe like a blue light to contrast with the more yellowish lights I'm planning to use here. So you get a sort of mysterious blue glow around the rim here from inside of there. Ooh. Get a little bit of mysterious color popping going on. Yeah, so I'll add this rim here so I can play around with that with the shaders later. More madness? More playtesting on your map? Oh, no, yeah, I love building like Halo 2 and Halo CE era Foreigner architecture because it's like such a great learning tool for this kind of stuff, and it's also really fun and easy to make look good. Okay, so yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to play around with. I like playing around with like light map stuff like that. Then I guess while we're here, could add just a little bit more geometry detail to the bottom of these. Just like some little bit of insetting. Like that. And then you can put a cool metal shader on that. This is what happens. I end up like planning to finish an area within like a day, but then I get carried away with, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I did this? There we go. Something simple like that. Okay, let's import this. Sadly, we will have to say goodbye to our lovely light maps, though. One brief last look at what the light maps on this BSP currently look like before we throw them in the can. Really happy with how this area over here ended up looking. The lens flares and lights I ended up here on top of the Junction entrance ended up being the cherry on top. Let the god rays interact with the bloom so nicely. Okay, goodbye light maps. See what the damage is with the open edges. Probably get some open edges caused by degenerate triangles too. Thankfully I actually know how to fix those though. It's just a fuck ton of subdividing the bad edges and merging all those vertices together. The exclamation points versus question marks preceding meshes is to do with whether it's lit per vertex or per pixel, and per pixel is from what I understand, per pixel is the much more nicer and more accurate lighting method, but it's more like expensive on like file size. I have a lot of instant stuff lit per pixel now just because I wanted to see how it would look. I'm probably going to change a lot of that, a lot of the more simple instant stuff back to per vertex so the file size of the light maps doesn't balloon. Possible to mod the anniversary graphics yet? I doubt it. What engine is Anniversary running on? I don't know. Whatever Saber was using. mean, it's running on top of the Blam engine. I'm not sure how that sort of pipeline goes. Underbarrel attachments in Halo 2? Yeah, you could probably come up with something cool like that. Because Halo 2 does have some functions where you can like fire secondary with left trigger and stuff like that. Or like fire secondary trigger / barrel. What other stuff has Saber made? Does anyone know? Because they all things considered, they do some pretty high quality work. You know, regardless of how I feel about their artistic choices. Oh, I did not want you to run light maps. Let's not do that, please. Nope, let's not do that. Let's not do light maps right now. Ah! It burns. A full bright, it burns. Now I'm sad. I'm sad again. I'm so tired of looking at this. Alright. Oh, no open edges. Just a bunch of stinky overlapping triangle bullshit. Like I care. Nice. We were successful. We did everything how we should have done it. Okay, let's take a look. Can't wait for you to play it, Murloc. Oh, it feels so weird for there to be this extra geometry detail here now. Need to make sure this is all marked as sharps or flats. Oh, I can't even look up high enough. Oh, that's gonna look awesome actually with the shadows. I actually just realized though the atmospheric fog is probably going to like it's probably gonna glow in front of the darkness, so that might give away the top of the shaft. That could look cool in its own right. I could experiment with like moving it up even further to like, if it doesn't fade off into the darkness, it can fade off into like dark fog. That could be a cool effect as well. But yeah, these lights coming through the sort of grating I want to add here, pointing upward. That'll create a cool effect. And then I don't know if I want to add a water plane down here. I think I might, or at least like a water sort of like sloshy sound effect, so you get the idea of what's down there when you stand on top of this. But yeah, just looking up in this room is gonna be like really cool. It's gonna feel really cool when all the lights are active and everything. You got that darkness. Should be really simple to texture too, just like this shader as the main one, but with proper UVs. And got this mysterious area up here that I don't even know if I'm gonna do anything with. Oh yeah, I'm excited. Let's kill Chief to end things off. Oh, is there actually a death plane active there? Okay, good. Good. So if you somehow manage to get your clip through the grating, don't worry, I gotcha. I gotcha. There he is. F. Big Fs, big rips. Ooh, I'm excited about this. This is gonna be some really fun light map. Fun playing around with light maps. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, we did some great things today, guys. Making this area overgrown with some vines and moss. I don't think you can really justify that like you can within the temple ruins, because this is like hard metal, and so I think that would like it would probably take a lot for like vines to be able to penetrate through material like this, like millions and billions of years or something like that. So probably not in here, or at least not to an aggressive extent, other than like maybe dripping water. You know, to sort of sell the idea, water dripping from above onto the grate. We'll see. All right, I'll say goodnight to you guys for tonight, and thank you all for joining me, YouTube members, H2R team members, and of course Rejected, and everybody else. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you next week. And we'll probably be at the tail end of working on this area. Here's a sneak peek of the section that we're gonna go to. It's a connecting sort of cave here. It's gonna have all sorts of neat little flourishes, like waterfalls, sort of waterfalls coming through cracks in the ceilings and creating these little streams down here. So that'll be fun. Okay, good night, guys.